Hey there you guys, welcome back. I've gotten a lot of you asking to see a front yard update, so let's get to it. The garden is growing well, some things are growing better than others, but all in all, it's not looking too bad. So anyway, without further ado, let's get to it. So here's the panorama view of the front yard. Sorry about the light, the sun is coming up in the back of the house and it's really coming through and washing everything out. So anyway, we've got the little leaf linden that's doing beautifully. It's covered in wasps right now. It seems to be a constant thing in the fall. This garden is doing okay. I planted all kinds of hostas here. We need to get back to lots of hosta to see what it looks like. But as you can see, some of these hostas aren't really doing so well. This one here is whiskey sour, and it doesn't like the sun at all. It's really washed out. The flower spikes are out. I'm probably going to end up moving this into the backyard into a shadier spot next season. It's already stressed out like crazy right now. I don't want to move it. So in the spring I will dig it up when it starts to grow and see what happens in a better location. And next year also this tree will throw a little bit more shade, so it might actually be fine next year. I then bought another one, oblique drinking gourd. And what do I have over here? There's a Summon Substance right here, and then this is the choo-choo train, I believe, and then we've got over here, what is this one? This one's Great Expectation and First Frost. I don't want to see First Frost, but that time is coming. So in amongst the rocks we've got a type of sedum. This is not a creeping sedum, it's just a small sedum. And then we have little spiderweb hens and chicks that's growing in a little crevice of the rock. Then I have another hens and chick that's growing beside the rock, and I'm hoping that over time it will kind of take over this side. I opted to go with, I wish that they were blooming, these Ruby Doro continuous flowering daylilies. This is the first year they've been planted, so they're not going to be too spectacular this season, but they will, as time goes on, continue to bloom all season, just like the Stella D'Oro. The geraniums, the crane's bills, the hardy geraniums are starting to rebloom right around the base of the tree. Let's move around to them. A little bit of a close-up. They're such pretty flowers. They look nice in the evening and they look beautiful in the morning. When the light levels are a little bit lower, they really pop. Let's move into the front of the garden, the main area. We've got some gaillardia and some black violas. They're still looking okay. I haven't done much pruning on these. Every now and again, every week or two, I go through and I just remove all of the spent flowers, just in mass. Sometimes I chop the plant back. We've got portulaca growing here. I find that for a succulent type plant, portulaca really likes a lot of moisture. When you put it in a dry environment, it really struggles. So this is the portulaca on this side, and let's pan across here. This is the portulaca on this side. I guess the roots of the tree suck up a lot of the moisture, and they just really struggle. And we do water this really frequently. So that's the difference. Good water versus not so good water. So back over here, we have the corkscrew hazel. It's done really well this season. This actually is all new from where my finger is, all the way across there. So it's probably about 2.5 feet, almost 3 feet, I guess, of growth, which is spectacular for this type of plant. Usually they're a slow grower. I trimmed the boxwoods. As you can see, they're nice. I haven't trimmed the ones in the back. I wanted to make a video and show you what I do, but I haven't gotten around to it. I've been quite busy. We've got hostas here. This is called Cameo. Then we got some lantana. Love my lantanas as annual interest. This is Tiny Tears hosta. That is really doing well. It's done phenomenally this year. And then you've seen photos of this one. This is Rainbow's End. Really love the bloom on that. And then under here we have the Japanese Oh, it's an ornamental grass. I forget what it is. It starts with an H. I forget it every time I do this video. And then down in here we have the little bunchberry, the ground cover dogwood. There's some in the back there, just over by the grass right here. It has a beautiful flower in the spring, a quite large flower for the size of the plant. So, yeah, the Japanese maple is doing beautifully. I opted to stake up one of the branches. I did this one first, and then I thought I don't want just one leader. I ended up taking the a couple more branches and staking those up as well. So I wanted to make my tree a little bit taller. I wish it was a little bit taller. So let's go around here. We got the more of the Japanese grass down there, looking really pretty, and then the boxwoods looking nicely trimmed. I've got this phlox here, the garden phlox, the tall phlox. It finished flowering, and this is now the second go around of the flowers. They're never as magnificent the second time around, but still it's flowers nonetheless. And it's just starting. And I started to get powdery mildew, and I had a solution that I made up last year of, I believe it is an ounce of horticultural oil and a gallon of water and like a tablespoon of baking soda or something, and you spray it on the leaves and it gets rid of the powdery mildew, and so far so good. It seems to be resisting it. I do get a little bit, and that's why I started to spray. Maybe when we come around the side I'll see some. We've got the that truck was loud. We've got the miscanthus grass here, and it's starting to do its plumes. It'll look nice very soon. It tells me that it's fall, and that makes me sad. We've got the little sedum that's growing down here. I'll need to figure out some way to stake this up a little bit so it's not laying on the lawn. It will get hit by the lawnmower, and it looks like it already has. Maybe I'll just trim it back, but I don't want to sacrifice the blooms. And this is my favorite boxwood right here. Looks really nice. I've had a lot of spider webs in here, and they really like to make a lot of webs. I don't know what this hosta is. It's a small hosta, and I really like it. It seems to be rather resistant to pests like slugs. It does have a little bit of damage, but not like some of the other hostas in the back. Over here is hosta June. I really enjoy this hosta. Let me see if I can change my angle. So it's June, and it's in full sun, and you can really tell. Usually the leaves are supposed to be a nice, like this, the bluish green, and instead they are more white. That's not typical of June. If I was to treat it with the best care, I would have it in a partially shaded environment rather than a full afternoon sun. But it's still alive, it's still growing. I'm not going to say it's thriving, but it's not doing badly. In the back I have a variety of variegated lily of the valley. I've got one there. This is one variety. And then I've got the other one over here. And these ones tend to grow a little slower than a normal lily of the valley, so these ones are not nearly as invasive. So I really like them in the garden. And then we have the Alocasia portoria, and it's doing nicely. It's got good sized leaves. The sun is really washing this out. Let me see if I can get a hand size comparison. The leaves are still quite big. I think that they're about 18 to 20 inches long. The big one might be a little bit longer. This one here. Over here we've got, I believe this is, oh, it's a spider lily, and I believe it's related to an amaryllis. And we've seen the flowers. It's got those beautiful white, spidery blooms, and it's starting to die back for the season. So soon I will dig that up. It's not looking very nice. It's very ragged. I've got all kinds of babies in there, and for some reason I still haven't gotten any blooms from the babies. Just the main one that's the size of a softball blooms for me every year. Only one spike. Then we've got this Brugmansia. We started from seed last year, and it's doing all right. It's still no blooms. I'm not going to keep this one. I don't like this so much. I find that it grows more upright, and when you get the big blooms, the pendulous blooms on the Brugmansia, you want to have them kind of on a side plane so that they all dangle down. This one, I feel that they're going to just cluster up and not look as beautiful. They're not going to dangle like they should. And then I have, as usual, I've got more elephant ears. These are just regular Colocasia esculenta, and they're growing beautifully under here. And I also have some coleus, not coleus. Anyway, they're related to the elephant ear. What are these called? Whatever. You probably will be yelling at the screen, Bill, how can you not know? I do know what they are. Caladium, there it is. If I stall long enough, I will tell you the answer. Got so many plants, it's hard to keep them all in my noodle. So let's go to the front again. I'll show you the pots. So in the pots this year, on the front step, I went with the canna lily that I had last year. I think it's Pretoria, and it's doing beautifully. I love the color. It's just got so much drama to it, and it's finally starting to bloom. Let's pan over, and I gave my neighbor some. Hi, Bill. And his are doing beautifully. His pots are wonderful, and his have been flowering for ages, just doing so much better. And I think it's because he pulls them down and puts them in direct sun, where I just leave mine where they are and let them fend for themselves. And down in the pot, I have some calibrachoas, and I have some trailing verbena. Again, this is trailing verbena. And then I went with I believe is this German ivy? It's not Swedish ivy, it's going to be German ivy, a variegated form. Really nice. It's not an actual ivy, and it's got like a rubbery leaf. Really, really nice. Add some I don't know, some length to the pot. And then over on the side here, sorry for the pillar, I've got some Vinca major. This stuff is really neat. I like this a lot. If I was to grow this in the ground, it would be a perennial here, but it can get pretty invasive. But in pots, it's just an annual. I might plant some in the ground just to keep it so I don't have to keep buying it every year, but I'll definitely watch the clump. And then inside here, I've showed you these before. These are the little bat face flower. Coffea is the type of plant. And then back here, I think this is called Browalia. Really cute little flower. This actually didn't grow as well as I thought it was going to. They're supposed to get up to 18 inches tall, but this didn't really grow at all. Quite disappointing. And both planters are the exact same. Not that adventurous. I want the doors to be uniform. So I just took the same plants and plunked them in there. And that one, the one that you're looking at right now, gets much more light. And then we've got this one here that is more shaded. It gets shaded by the patio, the roof. So let's go over to the one by the garage. This one here, I originally planted the. Let's go in front of it. I originally planted the canna lily in here as well, but then I got tired of the cannas, and I found this ice cream banana at the garden center. If you follow the Plants and Things What's Growing page, I did post the photo while I was at the store, and I am addicted to bananas, elephant ears, and almost every other plant, so I couldn't pass it up. And down in the bottom, that's actually doing really well. It's taller than me right now, with the tallest leaf. I would say that tall leaf is about 7 feet tall right now. And I've got some salvia in the pot to add a little bit of height, which I'm glad that I did, because that gets to be about 3 feet tall, and then the banana towers above it. And then I've got the trailing verbena yet again, and we've got some more of the German ivy. when it gets more light, it gets more of the variegation. The one that I showed you earlier didn't have much of the variegation because it was in a shady spot. And then we've got more of the same stuff, really. I've got the Vinca Major. I love this beautiful... I'm holding the wrong thing. There we go. The beautiful Vinca Major. Usually you get them with just a white and green leaf, but I like this one. It's just got a little bit more interest and a little bit more unusual, I guess. And then somewhere in there I have Calibrachoas. There they are. Love the Calibrachoas. And just different colors of the verbena. There's this one, there's the pink back there, and on the other side it's just a slightly less pink, less vibrant. And then down below we've got some more of the Calibrachoas, Million Bells petunias. And we'll back up, and it looks really, really nice, and I like it. And then over here, I'll just show you my neighbor's pots. He did a beautiful job here. There's the cannas. I don't know that he knew what he was expecting with cannas. He didn't know what I was talking about when I was giving him the bulbs, or the tubers in the beginning, or rhizomes, whatever you want to call them. He's got some nice begonias that are in there, and the bacopa is doing amazing, and he's got some ivy that's growing off to the side. He had lobelia, but lobelia is a difficult one to maintain. The second they get a dry spell, they just crisp right up. So if you're good with watering every day, then lobelia is perfect. But if you forget to water once, maybe twice, it crisps up to nothing. So anyway, this has been a front yard update. I know that you guys have been asking for it, and here it is. So it's August now. You might not see it. Well, you will see it in August. So thank you for joining me, and stay tuned for more updates, and happy growing. Anyway, to start this video, I just wanted to say hello, my name is Bill, and I have a problem. I am addicted to plants, and especially giant plants like elephant ears. Chris from Growing Things, you hit it on the head.